night comes to an end. I'm Zach Ziegler taking you through all the action here today between NHTI and Carlow. Carlow played earlier today in the winner's bracket. They happened to fall to... Carlow played earlier today, in the loser's bracket. They beat Penn State DuBois. Sorry about that. So Carlow getting a win to get to this game. Earlier today, they beat DuBois by the final score of 12-4. DuBois jumped out to a 2-0 lead in the first after an RBI double from Laura Fatula and an RBI single from Sam Satterley. But that Carlow offense was relentless all day. 2 runs in the first to tie it, then 5 in the second, including a bases-clearing double by Abby Stroud. A big day for her. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. Stroud added another RBI in the third, and a run came home on a wild pitch, and then they added 3 more in the fourth. An RBI double from Sierra Murray, and then an error allowed 2 more runs to score. But Abby Stroud, a big day. 5 RBIs in that first game and 6 runs scored while she was batting. So she was part of half of her team's offense on the day in the win over Penn State DuBois. That got into this game, so they're looking for their second win of the day, and they're feeling good doing the dance to the cha-cha slide out there in right field as a team as they get ready to take on NHTI. And in a big situation, sometimes it pays to be loose, and they're taking on a very tough offensive team in the form of NHTI. NHTI coming into this tournament outscored their opponents 217-72. But however, they did lose to a very good Penn State Hazleton offense in the winner's bracket last night. They had a 6-2 lead heading into the 7th inning, but Hazleton put together 4 runs in that inning, and the big blow was an error on the throw to first base by the third baseman, Brianna Whitcomb. She had it. It looked like the game was over, but the ball went under the first baseman's glove. That allowed 2 runs to score, tied the game at 6. And then we went to extra innings in the 8th. The courtesy runner was on for Penn State Hazleton with Caitlin Ashelman starting the inning at second. Then a single and a 2 RBI triple put Hazleton up by the score of 8-6. And an RBI single by Jackie Hess made it 9-6 before the inning was over. NHTI would get 2 on in the 8th. The courtesy runner to start things, and then a walk to Kristen McKenzie, put runners at the corners, and that was it, however, as a ground out by Olivia Langevin ended things, and NHTI, with their highest seed in school history, enters the loser's bracket, enters in a win-or-go-home situation here tonight. Lineup cards are being exchanged on the field. We're going to take a short break. When we come back, we'll have the lineups for you as Carlow gets ready to take on NHTI. It's all coming up next on the coverage of the USCAA Small College World Series. We are back from Heindl Memorial Field getting you ready for this loser's bracket game between number 2 NHTI and number 6 Carlow. NHTI will be the home team, and as they won the coin flip, Carlow will be the away team. We're going to give you today's starting lineups first for the visiting Carlow Celtics. They'll lead off with their left fielder Sierra Murray, batting second in center field Adriana Godheld. In the 3-hole pitching Abby Stroud, batting fourth your first baseman Tristan Voss. In the 5th spot the designated player Anna Marie Osecki, batting 6th in right field Sophia Papa George. In the 7th spot at shortstop Casey Wolford, batting 8th at second Danielle Lovato, and batting 9th at third base is Ashley Hoax. Your flex player is catcher number 12, Olivia Groff. As we said on the mound for Carlow, Abby Stroud, a record of 8-6 and a 1.33 ERA this season. On the other side for NHTI, they'll lead off with their shortstop, Olivia Langevin. Batting second at third base, Brianna Whitcomb. In the 3rd hole in center field, Brianna Conley. Batting fourth in catching, Allison Brown. In the fifth spot in right field, Hannah Winship. Batting sixth in pitching is Taylor Gagnon. Batting seventh in left field, Jordan Sargent. Batting eighth, the first baseman, Cabrina Roy. And batting ninth and playing at second base is Kristen McKenzie. The line for Gagnon this year, a record of 5-2 with a 3.48 ERA. And looking at the two players to watch here in this ball game, Abby Stroud for Carlow. A big day earlier, 5 RBIs, and helped produce 6 of the runs for her team in the 12-4 win over Penn State DuBois in the first round of the losers bracket. So look for her to have a great day at the plate and on the mound. You just heard it, a 1.33 ERA. When she's on, and she'll be tasked with shutting down one of the best offenses in the USCAA and NHTI. We mentioned outscoring opponents 217-72 entering tournament play. However, they did lose 9-6 last night. And on their side, really the player to watch has got to be Taylor Gagnon. She pitched well last night, took that ball off of her shin. She is okay and will be there today. So she'll be back in the circle for NHTI. Look for her to have a good day against this Carlow offense. National anthem about to be performed here at Heindl Memorial Field, so we'll step aside, and when we come back, we'll have the first pitch for you in this losers bracket matchup. Number 2, NHTI, getting set to take on number 6, Carlow, and it's coming up next. We are back from Heindl Memorial Field in DuBois, Pennsylvania. NHTI is on the field, and we are just about ready for action here in our 5th game of Day 2 of the USCAA Small College World Series. A loser bracket matchup between number 2 NHTI and number 6 Carlow. NHTI on the field right now. We'll look at their defensive alignment. In the outfield left to right, it'll be Sargent, Connolly, and Winship. Left side of the infield held down by third baseman Brianna Whitcomb and shortstop Olivia Langevin. Right side by second second baseman Kristen McKenzie, and first baseman Cabrina Roy. Behind the plate is Allison Brown, catching today's starter Taylor Gagnon. Gagnon's numbers on the year: a record of 5-2, a 3.48 ERA, 48 in the third innings of work, 52 hits allowed, 30 runs, 24 earned, 27 walks, and 32 strikeouts. So Sierra Murray stepping to the plate, and we are just about ready for action here in this loser bracket game. Win or go home. At the end of the day, one of these teams' USCAA hopes will be done, and the other will move on to face St. Mary of the Woods College in the quarterfinals of the losers bracket. Here's the first pitch, and it's grounded to short, handled over there by Langevin on to first, and the throw's a little too high, so Murray is going to reach, and that's how things begin here in this one. So it was fielded cleanly by Langevin, the throw just way too high, a leaping try by Roy, but she is unable to get there, so runner on, and nobody out, or bring up the center fielder, Adriana Gottheld. Gottheld, a .268 hitter, no homers, 7 RBIs, lays the bunt down. Roy fields, throw on to first. The second baseman covering on that play, and it's not in time. So a single for Gottheld. That puts runners at first and second with nobody out, and brings up the pitcher, Abby Stroud. Stroud, a big day in her game earlier today. 5 RBIs in her team's 12-4 win, and was the cause of 6 of the runs, as she brought home a run when she reached on an error. So Gagnon working with 2 on the pitch. Stroud shows bunt, pulls back, and takes it low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count here on Stroud. Stroud's numbers, .337, 3 home runs and 16 RBIs entering play tonight. We said earlier today, had 5 RBIs against Penn State DuBois. Ended up going 2 for 4 in that game with the 5 ribbies. Gagnon's 1-0. Stroud again shows bunt, pulls back, and again takes a ball on the count 2-0. And NHTI having the corners crash here, and then the shortstop and second baseman going to the third and first base bags respectively. Gagnon's 2-0. And Stroud gets the bunt down this time, but foul off to the left side, and the count now 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Abby Stroud, the batter. Leadoff batter Murray reached on an E6, and then a single, bunt single, allowed Gottheld to get on base. Gagnon looking on, and the 2 ball and 1 strike offering. And that one in there for a strike. Both runners take off, and the throw is wild, but good job by the shortstop, able to back that one up, Langevin. So it's a double steal. Now runners move to second and third. Still 1 out. And a 2-2 count on the batter, Stroud. So 2 in scoring position here. The pitch. And a swing and a miss. Nice slow breaking pitch there from Gagnon. Stroud goes down swinging. That's the first out here in the first. And it brings up the first baseman, Tristan Voss. Voss, a .293 hitter, 5 home runs, and 17 RBIs. So that's a big out, number 1 for Gagnon and NHTI. Gagnon set. Here's the pitch. Got one high and outside for a ball. The count 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count on Voss. The runner at third is Murray. The runner at second, Gottheld. Looking on is Gagnon, the pitch, and that one a called strike. The count 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1 the count here. 1 out in the top of the first. 2 on for Carlow. At third is Murray. At second is Gottheld. Here's the 1-1. That one is low for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. 2-1 the count here on Voss. Runner at third is Murray. At second, Gottheld. No score. An error and a hit so far for Carlow. The 2-1. This one is lined right at the third baseman. What a catch by Whitcomb. Able to handle that rocket shot. And that's the second out of the inning. Now 2 away. Runners are still at second and third. And it brings up the designated player, Anna Maria Osecki. That was a hot shot down to third. Nice job over there by Whitcomb to be able to handle that one. So that one would have easily at least brought in 1 run, possibly 2. 2 away, top of the first, no score. Gagnon is set, and the pitch. And a swing and a miss by Osecki. The count, no balls and a strike. 0-1 the count here on Osecki. Gagnon trying to get out of this one. An error and a single. Had 2 runners on, and they moved up on double steal. The 0-1. That one is grounded towards the middle, and it's through for a base hit. Murray scores, got held around third. She will score. It's a 2 RBI single from Anna Marie Osecki, and Carlow has the early lead, 2-0 over NHTI. Just when it looked like Gagnon was going to be able to get out of it, a clutch piece of hitting with 2 outs by Osecki, gets it up the middle, and it brings up Sophia Papa George. So 2-0 Carlow leads here in the top of the first. Gagnon working, here's the pitch. A check swing by Papa George, and it's called strike anyways from the home plate umpire. The count 0-1. Papa George, a .258 hitter, no homers, and 12 RBIs on the season. So Anna Marie Osecki at first, here's the 0-1. And that one comes inside. Papa George doing a little shuffle to get out of the way, and the count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Here at the top of the first, 2-0 Carlow leads. The 1-1. This one a slow pop back behind the plate and foul. The count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Anna Marie Osecki at first. She had the 2 RBI single. Gagnon toes the circle to 1-2. And a swing and a miss. She gets Papa George swinging, and that ends things here in the top of the first. But not before 2 runs come in the inning. On 2 hits, there was an error and 1 left. We head to the bottom of the first. The score, it's Carlow 2, NHTI coming to bat. Back in a moment with more on the USCAA Small College World Series. We head to the bottom of the first here at Heindl Memorial Field. Carlow puts up 2 in the top half, and now they'll try to keep NHTI off the board in the bottom half. The Celtics on the field right now. Here's their alignment defensively. Outfield left to right. It'll be Murray, Gottheld, and Papa George. Left side of the infield held down by third baseman Ashley Hoke and shortstop Casey Wolford. Right side by second baseman Danielle Lovato and first baseman Tristan Voss. Behind the plate will be Olivia Groff. Catching today's starter, Abby Stroud. Stroud a record of 8-6, a 1.33 ERA, 12 complete games, 100 innings of work, 70 hits, 32 runs, 19 earned, 17 walks, and 66 strikeouts. Olivia Langevin steps in to lead things off for NHTI, and she takes the first pitch strike. No balls and 1 strike on the Lynx shortstop. Langevin, a .582 hitter, 1 homer and 29 RBIs this season. This pitch is fouled off to the left side and fouled. The count 0-2. And that .582 average in a very good sample size. She's 64 for 110 at the plate. So she does a nice piece of hitting for NHTI. The 0-2, that one outside for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. But facing one of the best and hardest throwing pitchers in this tournament for Carlow, Abby Stroud. Let's mention that 1.33 ERA. The 1-2. And a swing and a miss. She gets Langevin swinging, and that's out number 1. 1 up and 1 down for NHTI. And it brings up the third baseman, Brianna Whitcomb. Whitcomb, a .402 average, 1 home run, and 23 RBIs. 1 away, bottom of the first. 2-0. Carlow leads over NHTI. Here's the pitch. And a swing and a miss. The count, no balls and 1 strike. And Stroud has that fastball working early. Blew it by Langevin there at the end, and then gets it past Whitcomb. Stroud set, and the 0-1. A check swing, and called a ball by the home plate umpire appeal, and they say they don't go around, so the count evens at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Bottom of the first, 2-0. Carlow leads. Stroud set, here's the 1-1. This one is lifted down the right field line, hooking, and will go foul. So the count goes to 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Nobody on. Stroud got the strikeout of Langevin to start things. Stroud's 1-2. And that one just high for a ball. Good discipline there from Whitcomb to be able to lay off. Count even at 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Stroud towing the circle. Here's the pitch. That one low for a ball. Count now fills up on Whitcomb, 3-2. For Abby Stroud in 100 innings, she has struck out 66, walked just 17. So has pretty good control throughout the year. The 3-2. This one lifted towards right. Papa George to her left towards the foul line, and she'll get under it to make the catch. That's out number 2. 2 away for NHTI, and it brings up the center fielder, Brianna Conley. Conley, a .441 hitter, 5 homers, and 34 RBIs. This NHTI team, we talked about the offense. They have 5 players hitting over 400 this season. The pitch, that one a called strike. No balls and a strike here on Conley. 0-1 the count, 2 away, bottom of the first, 2-0 Carlow leads. Stroud set, here's the 0-1. And Conley bunting this time, and it goes foul, and the count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Stroud retired the first 2 in the inning, a strikeout for Langevin and a flyout for Whitcomb. Stroud looking on, she's set. And the 0-2. And a swing and a miss. Graff holds on, and that will end the inning. 1-2-3 goes NHTI. We head to the second. Our score, Carlow 2, NHTI nothing. Back in a moment with more from the USCAA Small College World Series. Head to the top of the second here from Heindl Memorial Field. 2-0 Carlow leads over the number 2 seeded NHTI. Due up for the Celtics in their half of the second. 7, 8, and 9. Casey Wolford, Danielle Lovato, and Ashley Hoke. Wolford will step in to lead things off here after they got the 2 runs in the first. Carlow looking to keep it going. The NHTI offense very potent, so you're going to score as many as you can. Wolford, a .227 hitter, no homers, 7 RBIs. Gagnon's pitch, that one a called strike, count 0-1 here on the Celtics shortstop. No balls, 1 strike. They got those 2 runs in the first on a 2 RBI single by Anna Maria Osecki with 2 outs. Here's the 0-1. That one low and outside for a ball. Count now evens at 1. That first started with an error that allowed the leadoff batter to reach, and a single for Godheld. Both stole a base, a strikeout and a line out before the 2 RBI double. Next pitch, that one's also a ball. And the count now moves to 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs. Gagnon in her second inning of work. Has her sign, the 2-1. And that one a called strike. Count now evens at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. Gagnon set. And the 2-ball, 2-strike pitch. Swinging a bouncer to the circle. Gagnon will field, throws on to first, and that's good for out number 1. 1 away for Carlow. It'll bring up their second baseman, Danielle Lovato. 1 out here in the top of the second. Lovato, a .228 hitter, no homers, and 4 RBIs. Gagnon's pitch. This one is lifted deep towards left center field. Ranging over is the center fielder, Connolly, and she'll make the catch. That's good for out number 2. So a 1 pitch out makes the second out of the inning. It'll bring up the third baseman, Ashley Hoke. Hoke, a .204 hitter, no homers, and 4 RBIs. 2-0 Carlow leads. 2 outs here in the top of the second. Taylor Gagnon trying to throw up a 0 after allowing 2 by Carlow in the top half of the first. The pitch, and that one a called strike. No balls and 1 strike. 0-1 the count here on Hoke. First 2 retired, a ground out and a fly out. Gagnon's 0-1. And that one behind Hoke, and it ends up getting her on the backside. So hit by pitch, puts a runner on for Carlow, and that'll bring it back to the top of the lineup. The left fielder Sierra Murray steps in. She's 0 for 1, reached on an error, and scored a run in her last at-bat. So 2 outs and a runner on. This is when Carlow scored their 2 runs there in the first. See if they can get some more offense going. In their game earlier today against Penn State DuBois, they scored at least 2 runs in every inning in that one. The pitch, that one outside for a ball, count 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes, and 2 outs. Here in the top of the second, Murray at the plate. Gagnon set, here's the 1-0. This one is grounded towards second, slowly hit. Charging is the second baseman McKenzie, and the throw's not going to be in time. It's going to be an infield single there for Murray, so she reaches for the second time. Hoke gets the second, and it'll bring up the center fielder, Adriana Godheld. Godheld 1 for 1, had that infield single her last time. So Carlow once again threatening here with 2 away. An infield single and a hit by pitch have put 2 on. McKenzie charging that slow ball, but not much she could do there once that hit the turf and started rolling very slowly. First pitch to Godheld, that one high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count, 2 away. At second is Hoke, at first Murray. Gagnon looks on the 1-0. That one a called strike, and the count now evens at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Gagnon, the right-hander for NHTI. Pitch. And that one is low. The count now goes to 2-1. Gagnon in her sophomore year for NHTI. Serves as an infielder, a pitcher, and a catcher for the Lynx. The 2-1. This one grounded to second. McKenzie will field, throw on to first, and that's in time for out number 3. So no runs in the inning for Carlow on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left. We head to the bottom of the second. The score, it's Carlow 2, NHTI nothing. Back in a moment with more from the USCAA Small College World Series. We head to the bottom of the second here. 2-0. Carlow leads NHTI in this loser's bracket game. Due up for NHTI, 4, 5, and 6. Allison Brown, Hannah Winship, and Taylor Gagnon set to take cracks at Abby Stroud. Stroud a 1-2-3 inning in the first. Allison Brown steps in to lead things off. Brown hitting .462, 1 homer and 33 RBIs this year. Stroud's pitch. That one is outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Last inning, Stroud got 2 strikeouts and a flyout against the NHTI team. Stroud's 1-0. This one, a short pop over the circle. It'll be fielded by the shortstop, Wolford. Throw to first, and a nice play there by Wolford. That shallow pop. Looked like Stroud might have a chance at it, but it carried over her. Wolford, a good job of staying with it and carrying through for the out. So 1 away in the second. It'll bring up the right fielder, Hannah Winship. Winship, a .449 hitter, 5 homers, and 49 RBIs. She's tied for the team lead in home runs with 5. The pitch from Stroud, and that one a called strike. No balls and a strike. 0-1 the count. Here on the batter, Winship. Stroud set the 0-1. That one is low for a ball, and the count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom second, 2-0 Carlow leads. Here's the 1-1. This one is bounced back to the circle. Stroud bobbles, recovers, throws to first, and that's good for the second up. Out, 2 up, 2 down for NHTI. And it'll bring to the plate the pitcher, Taylor Gagnon. Gagnon, a .326 hitter, 1 home run, and 21 RBIs. 2 down for NHTI. Carlow leads 2-0 here in Game 5 of the second day of the USCAA Small College World Series. Here's the pitch from Stroud. That one a called strike, count 0-1 here on Gagnon. Stroud getting ahead once again. She's been ahead a lot today through the first 6 batters. She set the 0-1. Swing and a miss, and the count 0-2. Gagnon unable to catch that one on the outside corner. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bottom second, 2-0. Carlow leads. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That one is low and inside for a ball, 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Stroud looking on. And now time is called as Stroud waiting for her first baseman to get ready as she is now, and she'll step back in. 1-2, 2 away. Stroud set the pitch. And a called strike 3. Gagnon goes down looking, the 3rd strikeout of the day for Stroud. And that ends things here in the second. 1-2-3 goes NHTI. We head to the 3rd. Our score, Carlow 2, NHTI nothing. Back in a moment with more from the USCAA Small College World Series. We head to the 3rd here from Heindl Memorial Field in DuBois, Pennsylvania. Carlow currently leads NHTI 2-0 in this loser's bracket game. The 2 runs for Carlow coming in the first. Taylor Gagnon shutting down Carlow last half inning. 2 did reach with 2 outs on a hit by pitch and a single, but she got the ground out to end things. Due up here in the 3rd for the Celtics. 3, 4, and 5. Abby Stroud, Tristan Voss, and Anna Marie Osecki. Stroud will step in. She's 0-1. Struck out her first time, facing her counterpart, Gagnon. Gagnon looks on. Here's the pitch. That one is low for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count. Gagnon, a nice inning there in the second. Threw up a 0, getting her some more confidence. Gagnon set the 1-0. This one is lifted out towards short. Coming in on it is Langevin. She'll make the catch, and that's good for out number 1. 1 up and 1 down for Carlow in their half of the 3rd. It'll bring up the first baseman, Tristan Voss. Voss 0-1. She lined out back in inning number 1. So 1 away now here in the top of the 3rd. Gagnon getting the first out for the 2nd inning in a row. She retired the leadoff batter in the 2nd as well. The pitch. And Voss takes this one for a called strike. No balls and 1 strike. Gagnon not only leading NHTI in the circle, also pulling double duty, working as an intern for the USCAA here at the tournament. The 0-1. That one is low for a ball, and the count now 1-1. He's working some social media for the softball tournament, so check out the USCAA Twitter page at USCAA. Taylor Gagnon running some of those tweets for you this week and doing other various jobs for the USCAA. The 1-1. This one bounced to 3rd, handled over there by Whitcomb. Throw to 1st, and that's good for the 2nd out. 2 up and 2 down for Carlow. It'll bring up the designated player, Anna Marie Osecki. Osecki is the cause of the 2 runs, a 2 RBI single back in inning number 1. So now 2 away here in the 3rd. Gagnon tired the first 2 she's faced here, looking to put up another 0 and get her offense back to the bat racks. The winner of this game goes on to take on St. Mary of the Woods. Pitch. And that one is inside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on the Celtics designated player. 1-0, 2 outs, nobody on. Everybody playing about normal depth. The 1-0. And check swing from Osecki. Did she go around? No, says the base umpire. So the count now 2-0. 2 balls, no strikes, 2 outs. Oseki got the start in the earlier game against DuBois. The pitch, that one is inside, and the count now swells to 3-0. Was a starter for that game and helped propel Carlow to the win. Gagnon set, here's the 3-0. That one a called strike this time, and the count 3-1. For Oseki in that game, she pitched 2+ innings, allowed 4 runs. Her offense picked her up. 3-1. That one a called strike this time, and the count now goes full to Oseki, 3-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the third, 2-0. Carlow leads. Looking on is Gagnon, the pitch. And that one is high ball 4. So Anna Marie Oseki will take the 2-out walk. She reaches for Carlow. And will bring to the plate the right fielder, Sophia Papa George. Papa George 0 for 1. She struck out in her first at-bat back in inning number 1. So 2 away in the top of the third, and looks like we might have a runner for Oseki, as Carlow's head coach Glenn Zinsmeister comes out. And coming on to run for Oseki will be Olivia Groff, the flex player. So she's on to run for Oseki. So Groff on first, 2 outs for Papa George. Papa George going to try to keep this inning rolling here. 2 outs, top of the third. This inning started with a pop out by Stroud. Then Tristan Voss grounded out, and Oseki walked. Now Groff is going to be the runner at first for the Celtics. Carlow fell to the Mississippi University for women in their winner's bracket game, 4-1. It was a great pitching matchup between Abby Stroud and Kennedy for St. Mary of the Woods. Just not enough offense for the Celtics in that one. Then they come back in the loser's bracket and defeat Penn State DuBois. Gagnon looking on. Here's the pitch. Papa George takes that one low for a ball, 1-0. 1 ball, no strikes. Olivia Groff, the runner at first. Gagnon set. Here's the 1-0. That's a called strike. Count now evens at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Gagnon trying to put up another 0 here in the third. She set the 1-1. This one grounded towards second. Mackenzie Fields throws on to first, and that's good for out number 3. No runs in the inning for Carlow. No hits. There was a walk, so 1 left on. We head to the bottom of the third. The score, it's Carlow 2, NHTI nothing. Back in a moment with more from the USCAA Small College World Series. On to the bottom of the third we go. It's Carlow 2, NHTI nothing here at Heindl Memorial Field in DuBois, Pennsylvania. Carlow currently leads NHTI 2-0. Due up for the Lynx here in their half of the third. 7, 8, and 9. Jordan Sargent, Cabrina Roy, and Kristen McKenzie to lead things off for the Lynx. NHTI has retired 1, 2, 3 in each of the first 2 innings. Abby Stroud, so far so good. 2 innings. She has 3 strikeouts, and she's kept the ball on the ground. Just 1 ball hit in the air in this game so far. 2 groundouts, 3 strikeouts, and then the fly out to right. So Sargent steps in to lead things off for NHTI. The number 7 hitter in the order. Sargent on the year, a .370 hitter, 3 homers, and 30 RBIs. So nobody out, bottom of the third. Abby Stroud getting back in the circle and ready to go. Stroud set, here's the pitch. That one is low for a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count here on Sargent, the left fielder for NHTI, was out there last night as well. Here's the 1-0. This one is lined over to second. Lovato ranging to her right and makes a nice play for out number 1. 1 up and 1 down for NHTI. It'll bring up the first baseman, Cabrina Roy. Roy, a .354 hitter, 1 homer and 12 RBIs. We saw Lovato make a couple of nice snags out there at second base earlier today. Had a lunging catch against DuBois, then ranged back and almost fell over, going after a fly ball and right to handle it. Another nice play there. The pitch, swing and a miss for Cabrina Roy. In the count, no balls and 1 strike. 0-1, 1 away here in the bottom of the third. 2-0. Carlow leads over NHTI. Stroud set, here's the 0-1. That one low for a ball, and the count now evens on Roy, a ball and a strike. 1-1 the count, 1 away. 3 hits so far for the Carlow Celtics to go with 2 runs. Stroud set the 1-1. And that one way outside for a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Groff having to go out of the crouch to get that one. 2 balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Abby Stroud, she's done well in this series. We mentioned the good outing against Mississippi University for women. The 2-1. This one lifted towards right center. Papa George going back on it. She's not going to get it, and it goes to the wall. Roy's going to pull into second. It's a 1-out double for NHTI. Their first hit of the day, and they're in business here in the bottom of the third. Papa George was trying to track that one down. That one hung up there for a while as it carried out to right center field, but just too much carry on it, and Papa George couldn't get to it. That leads to the double, and the first time NHTI has had a runner on, and they have one in scoring position for the second baseman, Kristen McKenzie. McKenzie at the plate. Here's the pitch, and that one a called strike. No balls and 1 strike on the second baseman. McKenzie, a .273 hitter, no home runs, and 8 RBIs. 0-1 the count on McKenzie. Runner at second, 1 out. The pitch. That one a called strike as well, and the count quickly 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, and 1 away. 2-0 Carlow leads here from Heindl Memorial Field. Stroud set, the 0-2. Swing and a miss. She gets McKenzie swinging. That's a big strikeout for Stroud. Her 4th of the day. Now 2 outs and a runner at second, and the lineup turns over. It'll be Olivia Langevin to the plate. 0 for 1. She struck out back in the first. So 2 away. The bottom of the third. 2-0 Carlow leads. Here's Stroud's pitch. This one is bounced off to the left side and foul. Hoke will field right before the third base coaching box, and the count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 2 outs here. NHTI trying to fight back into this one after giving up the 2 early runs. Stroud's 0-1. Swing and a foul tip into the glove of Groff. Count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 4 strikeouts so far for Stroud in 3 innings of work. She's set the 0-2. Swing and a bouncing ball again, foul off to the left, and the count remains 0-2. Langevin's fighting to stay alive here at the plate. These 2 teams trying to play for an opportunity to take on St. Mary of the Woods in the quarterfinals of the losers bracket. The 0-2. That one's outside for a ball, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Before the night's over, we'll know the final 4 in the losers bracket. We already know the semifinal in the winners bracket. Tomorrow it'll be Cleary taking on the Mississippi University for women. Next pitch. That one's outside for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Cleary playing for a chance to go back to the championship game for a 2nd straight year. The USCAA champions a year ago. The 2-2. This one grounded back to the circle. Stroud fields, throws on to first, and that's good for out number 3. No runs in the inning for NHTI. 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We head to the 4th. Our score, it's Carlow 2, NHTI nothing. Back in a moment with more from the USCAA Small College World Series. We head to the fourth from Heindl Memorial Field. 2-0. Carlow leads over NHTI in this loser's bracket matchup. A pitcher's duel early after Taylor Gagnon gave up those 2 runs in the first. She has thrown up nothing but zeros since. She'll face 7, 8, and 9. Casey Wolford, Danielle Lovato, and Ashley Hoke here in the fourth. Casey Wolford steps in. She's 0 for 1 with a ground out. The pitch. That one swung on a miss. The count, no balls and 1 strike. 0-1 the count on the Carlow shortstop. Carlow trying to add on here after getting those 2 early runs. The 0-1. That one is low and outside for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike. 1-1, nobody out. NHTI got their first hit of the game in the bottom of the third. The double courtesy of Cabrina Roy. The 1-1. That one outside for a ball. And the count now moves to 2-1 here on Wolford. 2 balls, 1 strike, no outs. Gagnon's 2-1. This one is lined hard into left field, and that's a base hit. A diving try there by Whitcomb, but just under her glove. It's going to go as a leadoff single for Wolford, her first hit of the day, and it'll bring up the second baseman, Danielle Lovato. Lovato 0 for 1, flew out back in inning number 2. So leadoff batter on for Carlow here for the second time in the first 4 innings. Last time the leadoff batter reached, they got 2 runs out of it in the first. The pitch. Showing bunt is Lovato, pulls back and takes a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Want to know the count. Corners playing in here with Lovato having just showed that bunt. Here's Gagnon's 1-0. Again showing bunt is Lovato. This time gets it down but foul, and the count 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, nobody out. Runner at first is Wolford. She singled to lead things off. Now, Lovato going to her third base coach to talk some strategy here. As Sarah Sevzik is talking to her down in the third base box. Sevzik is coaching at first, and it's Allison Hyradale at first. So Sevzik makes her point. Lovato gets back in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Nobody out. The runner Wolford at first. Lovato shows bunt again, pulls back this time and grounds it to short. Langevin Fields goes to second to get the lead runner there, and that's the only out they'll get. Fielder's choice 6-4 on the putout. So Wolford is erased. Runner at first now with 1 away, and it'll bring up the third baseman, Ashley Hoke. Hoke got hit by a pitcher first time. So now 1 out here in the top of the fourth. Lovato reached, couldn't get that bunt down, so tried to pull it back and swing, but unfortunately for her, right to Langevin. Gagnon looks on. Here's the pitch. And that one high and outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count here on Ashley Hoke, the number 9 hitter for Carlow. Earlier in the day, she served as the flex player, and Groff was in this number 9 spot, but Hoke and Groff switching for the night game. The 1-0. And that one is outside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 the count here on Hoke. 1 away. Lovato the runner at first. Gagnon set the 2-0. This one is bounced foul off to the left. Hits the dugout for NHTI, and the count now 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 1 away. Taylor Gagnon has held Carlow off the board in the second and the third. Currently working with 1 on here and 1 out in the fourth. Gagnon's 2-1. That one is low. Throw down as Lovato takes off, and she's going to get in there with the stolen base. The throw from Groff was just a little bit, or excuse me, the throw from, not Groff, from Brown was a little bit low. And Lovato in there with the stolen base. Allison Brown behind the plate for NHTI. 3 balls, 1 strike to count here on the batter Hoke. Now a runner at second after the stolen base. That's Lovato with 1 out as Carlow tries to add on. 3-1, 1 away. The pitch. That one is ball 4. That one comes inside. Hoke reaches for the second time. This time it'll walk. And now there's first and second with 1 away and goes back to the top of the order. Sierra Murray comes to the plate. Murray 1 for 2. Reached on an error and scored a run in the first and then singled in inning number 2. So Murray's been on base in both at-bats today. It's a chance to drive in a run here. That runner out in scoring position in Lovato. Here's the pitch. And this one is lined right at the third baseman, Whitcomb. Throw back to first is in time for the double play, and that will end things here in the fourth. Nice job by Whitcomb being able to snag that line drive for the second time in this game, and the strong throw back to first to double off Hoke ends the inning. No runs in the inning on one hit. No errors and one left. We head to the bottom of the fourth. The score, Carlow 2, NHTI nothing. Back in a moment with more from the USCAA Small College World Series. We're back as we head to the bottom of the fourth here. Carlow leads 2-0. Couple of changes for the Celtics. Tristan Voss moves from first base to third base, and the designated player Anna Marie Osecki has come in to play first. Ashley Hoke has left the game. She was the third baseman. So those are the changes. Two up for NHTI in the bottom of the fourth. 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Brianna Whitcomb, Brianna Conley, and Allison Brown. So NHTI got a runner in scoring position, their first hit of the game last inning with a double by Roy. And that's the only hit so far on the ledger for Abby Stroud. And it's going through the changes with the home plate umpire is Carlow head coach Glenn Zinsmeister. And Zinsmeister will relay those to Michael Martineau, the student manager for NHTI, helping out Carrie Finnegan, the head coach for the Lynx. So nobody out, bottom of the fourth, 2-0. Carlow leads NHTI. NHTI looking to try to get on the board here after being held off for the first 3 innings. Abby Stroud continues her strong pitching performance here in the tournament. Mentioned a 1.33 ERA entering play today. And so far, just 1 hit allowed through 3 innings. She has struck out 4 batters. So nobody out, bottom of the fourth. Have one more game here for you tonight. The other side of the losers bracket is going to be Penn State Brandywine and Judson playing for the chance to take on Penn State Hazleton in the quarterfinals of the losers bracket. That game coming up 20 minutes after the conclusion of this one, probably around 8:20 or so. Running a little bit behind due to some exciting action earlier that made games run over, but it's all good when the action's fun. We had some great wins earlier in the day. We had the first 2 losers bracket games of the day. Penn State Brandywine knocked off Penn State Beaver 12-4. Then Carlow defeated Penn State DuBois in their game earlier as well. Our 2 winners bracket games: Mississippi University for women defeat Hazleton, and Cleary defeated St. Mary of the Woods. First pitch, that one a called strike on Brianna Whitcomb. No balls and 1 strike. 0-1 the count here on the third baseman for NHTI. He's made a couple of nice plays defensively today, including that line-out double play to end the top of the fourth. Next pitch, that one's outside, and the count now 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and nobody out, bottom 4. NHTI had a runner reach with 1 away. The 1-1. This one is lined towards center. On comes Wolford, bobbles for a little bit, and she's not going to be able to recover. So it's going to go down as a single there for Whitcomb as Wolford was charging. And it's a leadoff single for NHTI. It'll bring up the center fielder, Brianna Connolly. Connolly 0 for 1, struck out her first time. So runner at first with nobody out as Connolly comes to the plate. Abby Stroud dealing with her second base runner of the day. It's the second hit she's allowed. Here's the pitch. And Conley shows bunt, pulls back and takes the ball. And Groff faked the throw over to first as Lovato tried to get over there. 1 ball, no strikes, the count on Connolly. Whitcomb, the runner at first. Here's the 1-0. This time Connolly gets the bunt down. Stroud fields and was looking to second, bobbles it, and the throw to first is not going to be in time. Connolly hustling down the first base line. Stroud was trying to field and throw to second at the same time and never had the ball in her glove. So now runners at first and second with nobody out, and it'll bring up the catcher, Allison Brown. A big opportunity for NHTI early. So an error for Carlow. It's going to go down as an E1. First and second, nobody out. The best shot for NHTI yet. First pitch to Brown. She swings and misses in the count 0-1. 2-0 Carlow leads, but NHTI threatening here in the bottom of the fourth. 2-0 our score. Stroud set. Here's the 0-1. And showing bunt as Brown gets it down, but foul. And the count 0-2. So runners return to their bases. No balls, 2 strikes, and nobody out. The runner at second is Whitcomb, and then the runner at first, Connolly. Whitcomb the single, and the error allowed Connolly to reach. The 0-2. Swing and a miss, and big strikeout there for Stroud. One away now in the bottom of the fourth. Runner still at first and second, and it brings up the right fielder, Hannah Winship. Winship 0 for 1, grounded out in her first at-bat back in the second. So now one away here in the bottom of the fourth. Abby Stroud trying to strand those runners. NHTI trying to find a way to push across their first run. The pitch, that one outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes, and a very healthy secondary lead out there by Whitcomb. She went about a quarter of the way to third before going back. Here's the 1-0. This one is bounced foul to the left side of home plate, and the count goes even to 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Whitcomb trying to play some mind games with Groff and the Carlow Celtics, taking a very big secondary lead at the second. Stroud set, the 1-1. That one a called strike, and the count 1-2. And yeah, that time she almost got halfway to third. Getting really aggressive, trying to get the best opportunity to score she can on a ball hit and play. The 1-2. Swing and a pop-up. Over to shallow right. Goes out as Lovato. She lunges and makes another spectacular catch. Throw to third. And it is not in time. Moving up on the play is Whitcomb, but another great catch by Lovato going out to right field towards the foul line. She lunged, made the catch. Now there are runners at second and third with 2 outs, and it'll bring up the pitcher, Taylor Gagnon. Gagnon so far 0 for 1, struck out looking her last time, and looks like they're going to bring head coach Glenn Zinsmeister coming to the circle to talk with Stroud. Another beautiful defensive play by Lovato. She got her first start of the series at second earlier today, and she has just been on fire defensively for Carlow. A couple of nice plays earlier in the day, and now 2 nice ones here so far, so really helping out Carlow defensively. Earlier in the tournament, it was Kiara Morgan who got the start at second in the first game for the Celtics. Lovato came in as a replacement in that one, and now has gotten the start, in each of the last 2 games. So 2 outs, bottom 4, 2-0, Carlow leads. NHTI trying to find a way on the board. They're down by 2. They have a tying run in scoring position here in the bottom of the fourth. Stroud's pitch. Gagnon grounded right to the circle. Stroud drops the line drive, but stays with it, throws to first for the out. What a play by Stroud. That was a rocket right to the circle, but right in and out of the glove of Stroud, and that ends things here in the fourth. No runs in the inning for NHTI on 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left. We head to the fifth. Our score, it's Carlow 2, NHTI nothing. Back in a moment with more from the USCAA Small College World Series. We head to the fifth from Heindl Memorial Field. Carlow leads this one 2-0. Due up for the Celtics 2, 3, and 4. Adriana Godheld, Abby Stroud, and Tristan Voss. A nice play there by Stroud to end the inning. A little bit of luck, but it got the job done. A screaming line drive by Gagnon right back to the circle, and luckily Stroud had her glove there to protect herself, knocked the ball down, and was able to throw to first to get the out. First pitch to Godheld as a ball, 1 ball and no strikes. Godheld 1 for 2, singled and scored in the first and grounded out in inning number 2. The 1-0. That one is high for a ball, and Godheld ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0, nobody out, top of the fifth, 2-0. Carlow leads over NHTI. The 2-0, and a bunt attempt by Godheld, and she went way up the ladder for that one. The count now 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, and nobody out. The 2 runs Carlow scored in the first, still standing so far. The 2-1. This one is lifted out towards right. Coming on as the right fielder and making the catch is Winship. So 1 away now here in the fifth, and a sinking line drive. Winship, a nice job of staying with that one. And I'll bring out the pitcher, Abby Stroud. Stroud 0 for 2, struck out back in the first and popped out in inning number 3. So 1 away here in the top of the fifth. 2-0 Carlow leads. Gagnon's pitch. This one is looped into left, and that's going to get down for a base hit. So Stroud gets her first hit here of the day. She's now 1 for 3. And we'll bring up the third baseman, Tristan Voss. Voss came in at third last inning as Oseki went to first, and Voss moved over to third. So Voss, the third baseman at the plate. Righty-on-righty matchup. Gagnon against Voss. Gagnon set, and the pitch. This one is lifted towards right. Winship going over, and she makes the running catch. Stroud off the base, the throw back, and it's not in time. One hops back to the backstop, and Stroud's going to be able to get to second anyways. So it's going to be a fly out for Voss. A strong throw back by Winship, but it just bounced over the first baseman's glove. And now there's a runner at second with 2 outs, and it's going to bring up the first baseman, Anna Marie Oseki. Oseki 1 for 1, 2 RBI, single back in the first, and walked in inning number 3. So runner at second, 1 out for Carlow. They lead 2-0, looking to possibly add on here. Gagnon looking in. She's set. Here's the pitch. And that one is outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. The count here on Oseki. 1-0 the count. 2 outs, top 5. Runner at second is Stroud. Here's the pitch. That one a called strike, and the count even at 1. Oseki has driven in both runs today for Carlow with that 2 RBI single back in the first that scored Murray and Godheld. Gagnon set the 1-1. That one's outside for a ball, and the count now 2-1 here on Oseki. 2 balls, 1 strike. Oseki started the game as a designated player, then came in at first base last inning. Here's the 2-1. That one is also low, and the count now moves to 3-1. 3 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Here in the top of the fifth. Carlow trying to hold on to their 2-0 lead. 3-1. That one's low, ball 4. 2-out walk here to Oseki. Now 2 on for Carlow and 2 outs, and it'll bring up the right fielder, Sophia Papa George. So Papa George at the plate. 2 away. Trying to come up with some clutch 2-out hitting. We've seen that from Carlow in this game. The 2-out RBI, 2 RBI single from Oseki earlier. The pitch, and Papa George a liner into left field. That's a base hit. Stroud's going to be held at third as a strong throw by the left fielder. Sargent comes in. That'll hold her where she is. So a 2-out single, bases full of Celtics here with 2 away. And it'll bring up the shortstop, Casey Wolford. Wolford 1 for 2, singled back in the fourth and then grounded out in the second. Bases full of Celtics here, chance for them to add on to their 2-0 lead. Stroud at third, Oseki at second, Papa George at first. Gagnon looking in, and the pitch. That one taken for a strike by Wolford, count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs on the shortstop for Carlow. Wolford, a sophomore for the Celtics from Lower Borough, PA, the 0-1. That one a floater that goes too high, and the count now even at 1. We've seen Gagnon mix in that really slow breaking pitch there. That time just didn't have enough downward movement to get back in the zone. Gagnon's 1-1. That one is low and inside for a ball. The count now 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Stroud at third, Oseki at second, Papa George at first. And the 2-1. This one lined hard down the left field line, but foul. Whitcomb gave it a look down there at third base, but just foul, and the count even at 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2-0. Carlow leads over NHTI. Carlow, the number 6 seed, NHTI, the number 2 seed. Here's the 2-2. High ball 3. Count goes full. 3 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Top of the 5th, 2-0. Carlow leads. Big opportunity for Wolford. Gagnon's 3-2. Swing and a pop-up on the infield. Whitcomb going into foul territory. She will make the catch, and Gagnon gets out of a jam. No runs in the inning for Carlow on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 left on. We head to the bottom of the 5th. The score, it's Carlow 2, NHTI nothing. Back in a moment with more from the USCAA Small College World Series. We head to the bottom of the 5th here at Heindl Memorial Field. 2-0 Carlow leads. NHTI trying to get back on the board as we're at the 5th inning stretch here in this 7-inning contest. Carlow and NHTI doing battle. It's win or go home here in this one. Stroud's first pitch to the leadoff batter, Sargent. Sargent lays down a bunt, covering second is Lovato, and 1 pitch and 1 away. As a nice job there covering the bunt. Oseki charges, throws to Lovato, covering. Now 1 away in the bottom of the 5th. It brings up the first baseman, Cabrina Roy. Roy doubled her first time. That was the first hit of the day for NHTI. So Stroud looking on. Has her sign. Here's the pitch. That one comes way inside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes, as Cabrina Roy having to duck out of the way of that one. 1 ball, no strikes, and 1 away. Stroud set. Here's the pitch. This one is lifted to shallow left. Out goes the shortstop. Wolford a dive. She's not going to get it. Roy will reach. It's her second hit of the day. She's now 2 for 2. The runner at first and 1 out, and it'll bring up the second baseman, Kristen McKenzie. McKenzie so far 0 for 1. Struck out back in inning number 3. Wolford a diving try out there, but just unable to come up with that one as it fell in shallow left in front of the left fielder, Murray. So 1 away, and we're going to have a courtesy runner come on here for NHTI. As they'll run for Cabrina Roy. NHTI, it's Michaela Byron running for the Lynx. So Byron running for Roy. And it'll bring up McKenzie. McKenzie, the second baseman today, getting her first start of the tournament. Came on as a pinch hitter in last night's game against Penn State Hazleton. So 1 on, 1 out for NHTI. Last night it was NHTI that was leading heading into the last at-bats. Tonight it looks like NHTI is the team that's going to have to try and make the comeback. The pitch. This one lined hard but foul off to the right side behind home plate. Hits that netting over there, and the count's 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, 1 out. Bottom 5, 2-0 the score. Stroud has been very good so far. The 0-1. That one swung on a miss. Runner takes off for second. The throw down, and just missed the tag, did Wolford. That throw was off the mark at second, but Wolford leaped and grabbed it and nearly reached behind herself and slapped the tag on the runner. Just getting in there. So stolen base for Roy. And she made that close. Carlow head coach Zinsmeister's coming out. He wants an explanation, but what a great effort there by Wolford to even make that thing close. Groff's throw was trailing towards right center. Wolford leaped up and swiped her glove behind her, nearly getting the runner Byron on the top shoulder. But it's not meant to be. A stolen base and an 0-2 count on the batter McKenzie. No balls, 2 strikes, and 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 5th. Runner at second now for NHTI. The pitch. This one popped up foul off to the right. Oseki and Groff giving it a look, but this one will go way out of play. And the count remains 0-2. NHTI, the number 2 seed, the highest they've ever received in school history. Trying to keep their USCAA run alive. Here's the 0-2. Swinging a bouncing ball foul off to the right. It knocks off the Carlow dugout. And count remains 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. 2 runs, 6 hits and an error for Carlow. No runs, 3 hits and an error for NHTI. Stroud looks on, and the no ball, 2 strike pitch. Swinging a bouncer back to the circle. Stroud off into the left. She fields, throws on to first. That's good for out number 2. Meanwhile, Byron will move up to third on the play. McKenzie is retired. Runner at third, and will go back to the top of the lineup. Olivia Langevin will step in. Langevin 0 for 2. Struck out in the first and grounded out in inning number 3. So 2 away now. Runner at third. Third baseman Voss playing in for Carlow. Everyone else back. Trying to keep that runner at third honest. The pitch. Check swing by Langevin, but she takes a strike. No balls and 1 strike. 0-1 the count on the leadoff hitter for NHTI. Third time through the order for the Lynx. They try to get something going down by 2. Stroud's 0-1. Swing and a miss by Langevin, and the count no balls and 2 strikes. Mentioned Langevin, that .582 average entering play today. She's 0 for 2 so far. Stroud's held her off the board. The 0-2. Swing and a foul ball right at home plate. Groff unable to hold on to that one. So Langevin stays alive. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. NHTI trying to come back late in this one. 2 runs from the Celtics in the first. And that's been all. Abby Stroud has put up 4 straight zeros. And Gagnon has thrown up 4 zeros of her own since that first inning. Stroud looking on. The no ball, 2 strike pitch. That one's outside for a ball, 1-2. Groff fakes the throw down to third. Byron gets back. 1-2, 2 away. Stroud's pitch. That one's outside for a ball, 2-2. Good discipline by Langevin to be able to hold off. Langevin 29 RBIs entering play today. The 2-2. That one's up and in for a ball. The count now goes to 3-2. Full count, 2 away. Bottom of the 5th, 2-0 to score. Langevin represents the tying run. Stroud set to 3-2. Swinging a ground ball to short. Wolford charges, fields on to first, and that's good for the final out. No runs in the inning for NHTI on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We head to the 6th, our score. It's Carlow 2, NHTI nothing. Back in a moment with more from the USCAA Small College World Series. We head to the 6th from Heindl Memorial Field here in DuBois, Pennsylvania. Game 5 of the second day of the USCAA Small College World Series. It's Carlow 2, NHTI nothing. Carlow coming back to the plate here in the 6th, due up 8, 9, and 1. Danielle Lovato, Ashley Hoke, and Sierra Murray. So Gagnon, the right-hander, is in the circle again. She's thrown up 4 zeros since giving up those 2 runs in the first. 2 runs, 6 hits, and an error for Carlow. No runs, 3 hits, and 1 error for NHTI. So Lovato steps in. Lovato has been very sure-handed defensively at second. And now stepping in for her second at-bat. Here's the pitch from Gagnon. That one a called strike, no balls and 1 strike. 0-1 the count here on the batter, Lovato. No balls, 1 strike, nobody out. Top 6. This pitch is lined into center field. A diving try by the center fielder, Conley. She's not going to get it. Quick backup there by the right fielder, Winship. Good job by her to get there. And that's a single for Lovato to lead things off here in the top of the 6th, and we are going to have a pinch hitter for Carlow. Kiera Morgan is going to come on and hit for Ashley Hoke. So Morgan is hitting in the 9 spot. Hoke finishes her day with a hit by pitch and a walk. Morgan laying down a bunt, that one going foul, and the count 0-1. So Morgan, her first at-bat of the night. And her numbers, 275, no homers, and 5 RBIs. 0-1 the count on Morgan. Runner at first is Lovato, single to lead off the inning. Good wherewithal out there for Winship to back up her center fielder after Connolly dived. That could have proved to be disaster, as Lovato could have just kept running, but a nice backup there holds Lovato at first. It's 0-1 the count, nobody out, the count on Morgan. Gagnon in the circle, she set the 0-1. Morgan shows bunt again, and this time fouls it off again at home plate, and the count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, and no outs. Morgan trying to find a way to get that runner into scoring position. Carlow still looking for an insurance run. They haven't gotten on the board since that first inning. The 0-2. That one is low for a ball. Good job by Morgan to lay off, and the count 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, nobody out. Here in the top of the 6th. Gagnon's 1-2. Swinging a bouncing ball to third. Handled over there by Whitcomb. Throw to second, and they're going to get the lead runner there. A close play at the second base bag. But it goes fielder's choice 5-4. So Lovato is erased. Morgan reaches it first. And we'll go back to the top of the lineup as Sierra Murray comes up. Murray so far 1 for 3. Reached on an error and scored a run. Singled in the second and lined out in inning number 4. So Whitcomb getting the lead runner over there for NHTI. Gagnon steps in the circle to pitch. And that one comes inside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count. 1 out, top 6. 2-0 Carlow leads. They have a runner at first. Gagnon set, the 1-0. This one is bounced to short. Langevin handles it 2-1, and there will be no return throw. So another fielder's choice, 6-4 on the putout that time as Morgan's erased. So still a runner at first now with 2 away. And it'll bring up the center fielder, Adriana Godheld. Godheld 1 for 3, singled and scored in the first, grounded out in the second, and flew out in inning number 5. So 2-way, top of the 6th. Carlow still leads this one 2-0. Gagnon's pitch. That one is outside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes on the center fielder for Carlow. 1-0 the count. Here with 2 away. Gagnon set. And the 1-0. Godheld gets a bunt down, goes back behind home plate, foul, and the count even at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 outs. Top of the 6th, 2-0 to score. The runner at first is Murray. She reached on the fielder's choice. Here's the 1-1. That one's high and outside for a ball. Count now moves to 2-1. 2 balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs. 7 hits for the Celtics today, including 1 in this inning, a single by Lovato to lead things off. A back-to-back fielder's choices has kept the runner at first. Meanwhile, Godhell gets the bunt down, fielded by Whitcomb, throw to first, and just in time to get Godhell. That'll end things in the 6th. Another nice play by Whitcomb defensively. No runs in the inning for Carlow on 1 hit, no errors, and they leave 1. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Our score, Carlow 2, NHTI nothing. Back in a moment with more from the USCAA Small College World Series. We head to the bottom of the 6th from Heindl Memorial Field. 2 chances left for NHTI. They trail Carlow 2-0 as they try to stay alive in the USCAA Small College World Series. They'll try to do it with 2, 3, and 4 due up. Brianna Whitcomb, Brianna Conley, and Allison Brown. Whitcomb steps in to lead things off. 1 for 2 today. Fly out back in the first and a single in inning number 4. Abby Stroud has been great so far on the mound. Just allowed 3 hits through 5 innings of work. Here's the pitch, and a swing and a miss by Whitcomb. The count 0-1. And she's been by far one of the hardest throwing pitchers we've seen in this USCAA tournament. Gets that ball in there very quickly. Was hitting mid-60s yesterday. The 0-1. This one bounced to short. Wolford handles on a couple of hops, throw on to first, and that's good for out number 1. 1 up and 1 down for NHTI in their half of the 6th. It'll bring on the center fielder, Brianna Conley. Conley 0 for 2, struck out in the first and reached on an error in inning number 4. So 1 away now for NHTI, and Stroud just keeps on rolling for the Celtics. She looks in, she's set, here's the pitch. That one a called strike, no balls and 1 strike. The count here on Connolly. 0-1, 1 away, bottom 6. NHTI trails 2-0. Here's the 0-1. This one is grounded hard but foul past the first base coaching box, and the count now 0-2. NHTI had a runner on last inning as Ray singled, then stole second, and got into third on a ground out, but NHTI not able to push her across. Here's the pitch. This one is bounced foul. It hit off home plate and then went into fair territory. The count remains 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. The count on Brianna Conley. Ground out started this inning. Stroud set the 0-2. This one is grounded softly to the left side of the circle. Stroud tried to field, and she comes up empty. So that's going to allow Connolly to reach. E1 on that play. And Stroud thought she had it, lifted up the glove, and no ball was there. So Conley reaches it first with 1 out. Could be an opportunity. Brings up the tying run, Allison Brown. Brown 0 for 2. Grounded out in the second, struck out in the 4th. 2-0. Carlow leads over NHTI. Here's the pitch. This one is bounced softly to the left side, and Voss will let this one go foul. Count no balls and 1 strike here on the catcher for NHTI. 0-1 the count, 1 away. NHTI trying to somehow get this tying run on base. They're down 2-0. Stroud set the 0-1. That one a called strike. Count goes to 0-2 on Brown. No balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Connolly, the runner, at first. She reached on an error. Stroud set the 0-2. Swing and a pop-up, foul territory. Osecki and Groff giving chase. Groff into the slide and unable to get there. So new life for Brown. No balls and 2 strikes. It would have been a hard play if Groff or Osecki would have got there, but Just fell right in between them. Stroud looking on, and the 0-2. Swing and a miss. She gets Brown swinging. That's out number 2. And it'll bring up the right fielder, Hannah Winship. Winship 0 for 2. A ground out and a pop out so far. For Stroud, that's her 6th strikeout on the evening. Here's the pitch. This one is lined hard, but foul. Back behind home plate and off to the right. Count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike, and 2 outs. NHTI has made things happen with 2 away, but has not been able to push that run across that they're looking for. 2-0 Carlow leads. Stroud's 0-1. This one is bounced back and foul. The count now 0-2 on the batter Winship. No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 6th, NHTI trailing 2-0. Carlow scored 2 runs there in the first, and that is held up so far. 0-2. 2 outs, bottom 6. Winship trying to find a way on. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a line drive, foul. It hits over by the Carlow dugout. Oseki went after it. Couldn't get there. Still no balls and 2 strikes. 2 away. Bottom 6. Just 3 hits so far for the Lynx. Trying to come up with some big ones late. The 0-2. Swing and a fly ball out to right. Papa George comes in, now goes back and hangs with it to make the catch. A little bit of trouble out there, but she's able to hold on, and that will end things here in the bottom of the 6th. No runs in the inning, no hits, an error, and 1 left. We head to the 7th. Our score, it's Carlow 2, NHTI nothing. Back in a moment with more from the USCAA Small College World Series. We head to the top of the 7th. It's Carlow 2, NHTI nothing from Heindl Memorial Field in this loser's bracket game. Taylor Gagnon trying to keep Carlow off the board one more time. She has thrown up 5 zeros since giving up that 2 in the first inning. She will face 3, 4, and 5. Abby Stroud, Tristan Voss, and Anna Marie Oseki. Gagnon's pitch. That one is inside for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes. Want to know the count here on Abby Stroud. Stroud 1 for 3. She singled back in inning number 5. Here's the pitch. That one is also inside for a ball. 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0 the count here on Stroud. It's Carlow trying to add on to their 2-0 lead. Here's the 2-0. This one is lifted towards right center. Connolly and Winship giving chase. Neither of them are going to get it. It goes to the wall. Stroud around first, heading to second. She's trying for third, and she is going to get in there. A leadoff triple for the Celtics pitcher, and they're in business with nobody out here in the top of the 7th. That one ripped to the right center field gap. Stroud running hard all the way and gets in there easily with the leadoff triple. It brings up the third baseman, Tristan Voss. Voss 0 for 3. Line out, ground out, and a fly out to this point. That split the gap between Connolly and Winship out there. The pitch. This one bounced to the left side. Past Langevin into left field. A base hit. Stroud will score. It's an RBI single for Tristan Voss and a big insurance run. Carlow now leads 3-0 over NHTI. That one a rip. Langevin tried to get the glove out there, unable to get to it. An RBI single for Voss. Her first hit of the day is a big one, as that brings home an insurance run. It's now 3-0. Carlow leads. Anna Marie Oseki will come to the plate, but first, Looking like we're going to have some changes as Carlow manager Zimmeister coming out to talk again with the home plate umpire. So Tristan Voss, an RBI single. And we're going to have a pinch runner here for Carlow, as that will be Elena Tachenko running. So Tachenko coming on for Voss, who just had the single. And Oseki going to be at the plate. So Tachenko in to run, Oseki batting. Anna Maria Oseki at the plate. Oseki so far in this game is 1 for 1. She's reached base 3 times, a 2 RBI single back in the first, and 2 walks. So Tachenko over at first. Gagnon set. And the pitch. Oseki grounds it to short. Langevin fields to second for 1, and there'll be no return throw to first. So at the fielder's choice. 6-4 on the putout. That's the only out they'll get. So Tachenko is erased. Oseki reaches at first, and it'll bring up the right fielder, Sophia Papa George. Papa George is 1 for 3. Struck out in the first, grounded out in the third, and singled in inning number 5. We have one more for you here on day 2 of the USCAA Small College World Series. Up next, number 10, Brandywine takes on number 8, Judson, in a loser's bracket game, and that will round out our quarterfinals for the loser bracket. So 1 away, top of the 7th, 1 run already in on the RBI single by Tristan Voss that scored Stroud after Stroud led off with a triple. 3-0 Carlow leads over NHTI. Gagnon set, and the pitch. This one lifted high and deep down the left field line, but it's going to hook and go foul, hit into the bleacher area over there. And the count 0-1. No balls, 1 strike and 1 out. So 3-0 lead now for Carlow. 3 runs on 8 hits and 2 errors. NHTI, no runs, 3 hits and 2 errors. Here's the 0-1. This one lifted out to left. Coming on is the left fielder, Sargent. She's not going to make the catch. So that's a single for Papa George. That puts runners at first and second now. Still an out in the inning. And it brings up the shortstop, Casey Wolford. Wolford so far 1 for 3. Singled back in the 4th, then grounded out in the 2nd and popped out in inning number 5. So 1 away, top of the 7th. And we are going to actually have a pinch hitter for Wolford, as Morgan Pierce is going to come hit. So Morgan Pierce batting for Wolford. Wolford went 1 for 3 before the pinch hit. And we'll get you Morgan Pierce's numbers here in just a moment. Pierce, a 143 hitter, no homers and an RBI. And now NHTI will call time as they have a meeting on the mound. Taylor Gagnon's given up a run already in the inning. So NHTI's assistant will come out to talk. They're going through things. 1 out, top of the 7th. 1 run is scored. The RBI single by Tristan Voss. At second is Anna Maria Oseki. She reached on a fielder's choice. Sophia Papa George on first. She reached on a single. So Pierce to the plate. Her first at-bat of the USCAA Small College World Series. And now Carlow's manager back out of the dugout. He's going back to talk to the home plate umpire once again. So Oseki, the runner at second. Papa George at first. As we'll wait to see what's being mentioned here. And we're going to have another pinch runner. Alyssa Fairman's going to run for Oseki.
Number 21, Alyssa
So Fairman on second, Papa George on first, as Oseki is ran for. 1 away and chance for Pierce. 3-0 Carlow leads. Here in this USCAA National Tournament, one of these teams' tournament journey will be over after this one. The other will go face St. Mary of the Woods. First pitch. And that's a ball to Pierce. 1 ball and no strikes. 1-0 the count. 1 out. Top 7, 1 run already home, 3-0 Carlow leads. The 1-0. That one a called strike, and the count now evens at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 away. The NHTI Lynx have qualified for the USCAA each of the last 6 years. Gagnon's pitch grounded to Langevin. Langevin goes to third to get the lead runner, and everybody else is safe. Fielder's choice 6-5 on the putout. So Fairman is erased at third. Papa George gets to second, and Pierce reaches at first. It'll bring up the second baseman, Danielle Lovato. Lovato is 1 for 3. Fly out, fielder's choice, and a single to her credit so far. Gagnon looks in, righty-on-righty matchup. She's set, here's the pitch. That one is high for a ball. 1 ball and no strikes, the count on Lovato. 1-0 the count, 2 away here in the top half of the 7th. 1 run home already, the 1-0. That one is low as well, and the count now 2 balls and no strikes. 2-0, 2 outs, top of the 7th. 3-0 Carlow leads. They've added an insurance run in the inning. Gagnon set. Here's the 2-0. That one is high and outside for a ball. 3 balls and no strikes. 3-0 the count. 2 away, top 7. Taylor Gagnon trying to get her team back to the bat racks here in the bottom of the 7th. Gagnon's 3-0. That one a called strike, and the count now 3-1. Lovato taking all the way on that one. 2 away at second, it's Papa George. At first is Pierce. Here's the pitch. This one lined down the left field line, and that's a fair ball. Papa George around third. She's going to score. Pierce will be waved to the plate. Lovato stops between second and third as the throw comes into third. She gets back in. It's a 2 RBI double, and Carlow has now extended their lead to 5-0. That one ripped down the left field line, way fair, and rattled into that corner, allowing both Papa George and Pierce to come home to score. It's now 5-0 Celtics lead, and it will bring up Kiera Morgan, who hit for Ashley Hoke last inning. Morgan 0 for 1, reached on a fielder's choice. So here's the pitch from Gagnon. That one a called strike, no balls and 1 strike, the count on Morgan. A 2 RBI double for Danielle Lovato. Makes it 5-0 Carlow. Lovato stands at second. The 0-1. That one's low and inside for a ball. Count now evens at 1. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 2 away. Lovato at second. Here's Gagnon's 1-1. This one fouled off right back behind home plate, and the count goes to 1-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and 2 outs. 5-0. Carlow leads here over NHTI. Carlow adding 3 runs here in the top of the 7th. The 1-2. Swing and a miss. Gagnon gets the strikeout, and that ends things here in the 7th, but not before 3 runs come home in the inning on 4 hits. There were no errors and 1 left on. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Last chance for NHTI. They trail in this one. Carlow 5, NHTI nothing. Back in a moment with more from the USCAA Small College World Series. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Last wraps for NHTI. They trail 5-0 here against Carlow as they try to stay alive in this USCAA Small College World Series. The winner of this game goes to take on number 5, St. Mary of the Woods College, tomorrow. So both teams trying to stay alive. Yesterday it was NHTI who led going into the last at-bats, and Penn State Hazleton made a comeback. NHTI I'm going to try to do something similar here in the bottom of the 7th. NHTI needs to score at least 5 runs to tie this one, or 6 to win it here in the bottom of the 7th. It'll be 6, 7, and 8. Taylor Gagnon, Jordan Sargent, and Cabrina Roy due up for NHTI. So Abby Stroud trying to finish this one out. A couple of changes in the field of play here. We'll get you those when we figure out. You can see Lovato moves from second to first, and Kiera Morgan is now at second. Also, Morgan Pierce stays in the game and left. Here's the pitch. That one a called strike, count 0-1 here on Gagnon. So no balls, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. This one is bounce foul off to the right, and the count 0-2. No balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Bottom 7, 5-0, Carlow leads. Abby Stroud trying to close this one out. Stroud set. And the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Gagnon strikes out, and that's the first out here in the bottom of the 7th. 1 up, 1 down for NHTI. And it'll bring to the plate the left fielder, Jordan Sargent. Sargent's 0 for 2, lined out in the 3rd, grounded out in the 5th. So 1 away now, bottom 7, 5-0, Carlow leads. The pitch, this one is bounce foul and back off to the left. The count 0-1 on the left fielder for NHTI. No balls, 1 strike and 1 out. Bottom 7, 10 hits for the Carlow Celtics today, just 3 for NHTI, as Abby Stroud has been on fire throughout this tournament. The 0-1. This one is lined foul back behind home plate. The count now, no balls and 2 strikes. 0-2 the count, 1 away. 5-0 Carlow leads. Stroud trying to finish this one out and advance her team. Stroud set. The 0-2. Swinging a pop-up back behind home plate and foul. It'll be Groff playing that one off the net. And tried to sell it again to the home plate umpire, but still not biting on that net play. 0-2, 1 away. Sargent batting from the right side against Stroud. Stroud set, here's the 0-2. This one popped up right next to home plate. Groff comes out of the crouch, she'll make the catch, and that's out number 2. NHTI down to their final wraps here in this one. It'll bring up the first baseman, Cabrina Roy. Roy, 2 for 2, doubled in the 3rd, and singled at inning number 5. Abby Stroud 1 out away from throwing a shutout here. Her team up 5-0 in this loser's bracket game. Stroud set to pitch. Swinging a fly ball out to left. Going back is Pearson. It's over her head to the wall. Roy around first, heading to second, and she'll be in there with a 2-out double. So NHTI has some life here, and it'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Kristen McKenzie. So McKenzie, the batter for NHTI. Possibly, we might have a change. It looks like we will. McKenzie was due up. Get you the number of who's batting right now. Currently stepping in is Maggie Daly, the pinch hitter for NHTI. So Maggie Daly comes to the plate.
Number 16, Maggie Daly.
Kristen McKenzie finishes 0 for 2. Daly this year for NHTI, hitting .346, a homer and 17 RBIs. Stroud looks in. Here's the pitch. Daly bounces this one back to the circle. Stroud fields on to first, and that's how this one ends. Final score, Carlow knocks off NHTI 5-0 and moves on to take on St. Mary of the Woods College tomorrow afternoon. So a great outing again by Abby Stroud. She throws a complete game shutout, giving up just 3 hits against NHTI, and a good fight there at the end. Cabrina Roy, the 2-out double, but just not enough for this offense. Carlow jumped out to a lead in the first inning, a 2 RBI single by Anna Marie Osecki. That got the Celtics up 2-0 on the board, and then they added some insurance late in the 7th inning. 3-run score, an RBI single by Tristan Voss, and a 2 RBI double by Danielle Lovato. That brings the runs home. So NHTI's run in the USCAA Small College World Series is over, and Carlow goes on to face the St. Mary of the Woods College Pomeroys. That's our final score, 5th game of the day. One more for you on day 2 of the USCAA Small College World Series. We'll find out the 4th member of the quarterfinals in the losers bracket, as it'll be Penn State Brandywine against Judson College. That game coming up in just about 20 minutes. The number 8 seed against the number 10 seed. We thank you for listening to another edition of the USCAA Small College World Series. I'm Zach Ziegler. One more for you today on day 2. We hope you stick around for more exciting action. Thanks for listening, everyone, and we'll see you in about 20 minutes.